And I think we're living the dream. I think right now we're living the dream and we're actually live. But I must double check. But let them know what's good, homie, please.
On lean, gangsta lean. I get cream. Plus, I serve dubs like it ain't no thing.
Oh,
Shouts out to Easy E.
Yeah, we're live. We're good. We're live. So what's up, y'all? My man's All Day Dirt is in the motherfucking buildings.
2 of those things for you.
Apparently, he's just been suffering from fucking walking pneumonia since the last time we've seen him.
Yeah, dude, it's been nasty style, but I'm back. A little Z-Pack and I'm back.
A little Z-Pack, and the boy is back. Yeah, you figured out, you're like, I can't just NyQuil this bitch away. This is going to take actual medicine.
Yeah, I thought that I was stronger than I was, but, you know, that 32 will creep up on you.
Fucking Chorito, what are you doing? Go lay down, homie. You know the drill over here. You just kick it. But yeah, I'm just texting out the link. Let's see. Notification gang in the building. Look, we got B Nasty in here. The running dad. I like that. Oh, it's fucking No Shame.
Holy
okay,
hell, what's up, B Nasty?
up?
What's up, No Shame?
It's fams. It's fams in the building. We were talking about doing we're bringing back Behind the Bots. So definitely want to talk about the Pat battle. So we could do like a remote thing. Man's Ryne is coming over here later to help me figure out how to do that shit. So in the near future, I will be hollering at you to come through and...
No Shame had Pat and fucking Bonio.
Yeah, dude. Back to back.
What a champ.
What a champ. Yeah, I definitely would like to probably talk about both of those battles. Probably just do both in one episode. That makes sense. But yeah, we out here. We live. I posted a link. And you know what? I don't even fucking care if anybody comes because Notification Gang is in the building already. My man's Mandrew is here. So,
Mandrew, you're not even the same anymore. You've changed.
You've changed. Fucking what's it called? You said first thing you were like, yo, why you been on Robo's helmet so hard in the last couple of weeks? And that was exactly what EK said to me this morning as well. Not EK Emerson Kennedy, but of course Edgy Quan, everybody knows.
Now that's the boy right there,
the
dude.
boy.
That fucker knows.
He's back on the island. He's got a dog. He's got a full-time job. He's just a different man, dude. We're all very different. You know what I mean?
Damn, he's on an island.
He's
on
been
a boat.
He's been a Hawaii native for as long as I've known him.
What island?
I think the Big Island. But I spent some time with him in Honolulu. Holy shit, that is a small place. Like island-wise, like you can drive around the whole thing in like fucking 2.5 hours.
I've only been to Maui, but I love it there. I'm actually the mayor.
Lahaina. You're the mayor of Lahaina?
Yeah, it's not looking too good right
No,
now.
I was gonna say if the whole shit burned down, you should probably not be here. You should probably be over there helping people.
For what?
So making sure that all the fucking honkies don't buy up all the people, the native Hawaiians' land. Like that's all.
I think there was some
up.
clause that like it couldn't be built on unless it was like a catastrophic event or some shit. And then guess what happened?
A catastrophic event.
They wanted to undermine my authority.
People love to they love to operate under the pretense that like everything is like a psyop or whatever, or that like the government is behind every tragedy that happens in the world. And I personally think that what's way more likely, look at this fool.
They're like none of the blue fucking things burnt.
No, only the red shit burnt.
I get it.
I think honestly, what's way more likely is that hey, Churro, go lay down. You're done.
I've been to Maui fucking
You're
5
done.
times.
Lay down right there.
And I'd say 4 of those times something was on fire and their fucking fire department was like under fucking
They didn't
prepared.
have the materials necessary to stop said fire.
One day the mountain behind the homie's house was just on fire. We were there for 16 days. That shit was on fire for like 11. They're panicking, bringing like helicopters in from other islands to dump water and
Which
shit.
is insane because you're next to the ocean. You'd think that you would be able to stop the fire, but I guess I don't know shit about fire. I'm not going to pretend like I do. But I love what I was saying is
if I could smell it through the bag, it's on fire.
people love to act like these are all planned events as opposed to like people are just capitalizing on shitty events. You know what I mean? Like, which seems way more likely to me. Like, I'm not saying the end result of your conspiracy isn't totally happening. I'm just saying they didn't start the fire. They just, once it started, were like, oh, you know what we're going to do? We're going to scoop up all this fucking land right now. You know what I mean?
You know what was heavy on my mind? I was watching you and Caustic, and you guys are like, yeah, it's a shame that like people are being like championed for being assholes, or their only response is like, well, you're broke and like all this shit. And,
Yes.
and in my mind, I just thought like, that's the new normal. Like before, even like I'm 32, bro, but when I was a kid, there wasn't such thing as like sus activities or like cringe worthy. There were no viral moments, and it's like
Yeah.
it's this cold truth of it is like that's what's important right now, and that's what's popping. Like fools want to be like, oh yeah, he's the friend that always acts sus, which
Yeah.
is weird, or like he's our cringy friend, or like watch he's gonna do something cringe, and that's all people are looking for is like weird niche happenings that like not everyone is really interested in, but
Yeah.
because of the internet, like it's like, oh man.
And it's like a
watch so
car
many
crash in
cringe
the sense that
channels.
like if it rolls by your feed, you're gonna fucking watch it.
Oh yeah, you ever watch that dude is like, everybody wants to be a squirrel, and it looks like a ninja turtle.
No.
He's like, he'd be hella singing songs and shit. He'd be like, sticking out the gap for the Rizzler. That fool, he's hella cringe, but I love that shit. But
Yeah.
only in my like older age because it's available. Like,
You know
when
what
was
I
young,
love?
There wasn't that. There was like America's Funniest Home Videos.
I love the dude that sings the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
Oh,
6,
Soy
7.
Cat?
Yeah, man,
That's the boy.
That's the shit, right? I mean, who doesn't like
Happy
that?
forever. Number one to you.
Number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
I love that fool. I love Nicky Cass. He's like an Italian dude. He's hella fucking funny.
Beanie's here. Ryne's here. L Dog's here. What it do?
El Dog.
Yeah, no, I think people. There's like certain moments that have happened throughout like the last decade or whatever that have like shined a light on how factual that is. I think one of those moments that people like undermine or don't realize is the "Catch Me Outside, How About That" phenomenon. About how like that was just a person who was on a reality show being like just a bad kid, and that was able to be manifested into first like a shitty rap career that arguably, and I mean not even arguably, like certainly made more money than a lot of like talented rappers, and then an OnlyFans fucking thing, which is fucking gross when you think about it. It's like, oh, we waited for the child to not be a child anymore, and then we subscribed to the OnlyFans. Like that is.
That's what they did to Hermione, dude.
That
And
is
she didn't even get no money off that shit. Like they were just spraying on her, and that's a cold world, bro. Like they waited for her to turn 18 to take a little upskirt shot, you know?
yeah, that's wild, dude.
Yeah, it's wild, man. But
But-
that's the world. People are into fucking weird shit, and it sucks to be the minority of like you kind of don't play into that shit because a lot of people, that's their world, you know? I could equate it to like viral moment when I was younger. It's like when Janet Jackson's titty came out.
Yes.
Like everyone's like, oh my God. Like,
Yes.
you know, like that's virality back then.
Yes.
But now you could just be like, I like pogs. I like white girls mo better. And like, you're just a viral dude. You know, it's like, fuck. Like, you don't know the pog guy? Or like, I'm like that dude because I consume a lot of like social media.
Yeah.
I don't fucking work a traditional job. So I'm always on my fucking phone.
Yeah.
And I be knowing about hella shit, and I try and like drop it in conversation, and no one knows. And then like 4 or 5 days later, they're like, "Oh yeah, I heard about that." But I be on the pulse, baby.
I gotta put that shit down because I will seriously sit here and like just start doing dog rescue shit while I'm sitting here supposed to be podcasting, supposed to just be kicking it with the homies. But in my head, I'm thinking, yo, let me see where this person lives because I'm gonna have to go do a home inspection. I'm like, no, I can fucking do that in an hour. I do not have to do that right now. I deserve to have an hour. I get an hour. You know what I mean? Like
I got all the hours, dude. I've been playing Ark like a scumbag.
with that, you said with someone from Kuwait and someone from Texas.
Shouts out to Snow. Shouts out to Manny.
That's sick.
The farm crew, they be fucking getting it in.
I have been. I bought that 1-Up cabinet, and I'm turning it into a Switch cabinet. We went over to this sick ass little video game store right now. I picked up the Capcom Fighting history, so just another piece. And I'm gonna tell them because I don't think even if they steal my idea, I'm okay with it because then it's a business that I can patronize. You know what I'm saying? But I basically, and this is how you know how burnt I am. I've already been thinking about retirement and what I'm gonna do as an old man. God willing, if I live that long. So now that I have more time on my hands and more money because I'm not spending it all on fucking weed and Fronto leaves.
Drogas.
Drogas. I am going to be buying as many arcade cabinets as possible between now and, 15, 20 years from now, when I have enough infrastructure to pass the rescue off to somebody else. And we have enough people on our rescue team as a part of our rescue family where I'm like, I trust you to continue to keep this mission going or whatever. At that point, I'm fucking opening up a fucking ice cream shop. We're going to make fucking homemade soda, and it's going to be an arcade, ladies and gentlemen. And it's going to be like Nickel City style. It's going to be vintage arcade because it's vintage now, but shit, how vintage is it going to be in 15 years? Amazing. Neo Geo cabinets, fucking, I'm going to start getting some like real video game cabinets and just start storing this shit. I already have the crazy video collection, so fools will be able to rent movies, DVDs, and then fucking me and Cody and fucking Jordan just sitting there eating ice cream. Fucking fools, kids coming in playing video games. I'm like, don't play that. I'm playing that right now. You can't play that right now. That type of shit. But that's what I'm looking forward to. That's my future, I think.
That's a fruitful dream.
I think it is.
That, it's accomplishable, and that's the best kind of shit that like. If I work towards it, I could do it realistically.
Yeah, because it would really just come down to like having the capital to rent or to rent the space. If I already have if I spend the next 15, 20 years like collecting slowly, right? Mm-hmm. And then once I'm ready, once I have the time, I just need to find the appropriate space for it. And then I just plug the shit in the space. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And ice cream being the most like easy food business to be in, because you just buy it, scoop it in a cup and serve it. You just got to keep it cold. Like that's all. You don't have to cook anything or anything like that.
Yeah.
I think that's perfect. I think that's the best kind of business you could possibly run. So yeah, arcade, fucking nerds down, arcade, ice cream shop, making homemade soda. You can fucking rent movies, and these motherfucking movies are gonna be, a lot of the shit ain't on streaming now, so none of this shit's gonna be on streaming at some point. You know what I mean?
What have you seen good on streaming lately?
That's a good fucking question.
I've been trying to get into Boardwalk Empire, but I just always am too sleepy.
It's almost time for me to go back and watch Boardwalk Empire.
Yeah, I fuck with what's that fool's name, Mr. Pink?
Oh yeah. I have a dog that Steve Buscemi.
Yeah,
I have a dog that looked like Steve Buscemi.
He's the boy, dude. He's a good ass actor.
Amazing.
So I back his
him and Kurt Russell. Like I'll watch anything those motherfuckers are.
I was really into the Peaky fucking Blinders.
Yeah, what's his name is also dope. Cillian Murphy. I hope that fool ends up being Doctor Doom in the MCU.
Yeah, so I feel like Boardwalk Empire is like kind of adjacent to that, so I'd be into it.
That's a good one.
But I gotta check it out.
I'm watching the 4th season of True Detective, which is way more like the first season of True Detective than the anyone in between or whatever. So that's cool. I'm fucking with it. It reminds me of like the kind of like what was it? I was gonna say L. Ron Hubbard. No, not that. Like the Cthulhu shit, like the cosmic horror kind of, I like that shit. Like I
don't even want to speak on that.
Yep. But, it's frightening. It's super frightening.
I've had a conversation or two.
I'm also I'm interested in watching that show Severance on Apple TV because I heard it was hella good.
What about Hunters? Have you seen that?
No.
You haven't seen that?
No, what's that?
Dude, I wish you could look at the fucking first episode like live. There's like, so basically there's this family and they're just chilling, barbecuing. It's in like the fucking 70s, maybe 60s. And this lady comes up to this barbecue. I guess her husband was invited or some type of shit. I don't know. I haven't watched it. I've only seen this clip. And she walks up and she starts fucking freaking out. And she's like, I know this motherfucker, like in a different language. She's like, I know this
Oh,
motherfucker.
yes. The Nazi hunter
they're
shit.
Nazis, dude. Like, I
yes.
can't hunt that down, but I'd like to,
yes.
maybe watch that.
That sounds cool, actually.
Anime-wise, I haven't really been in the game too much. I've just been playing fucking Ark for nice 8 to 12 hour stretches as if that was my source of employment.
Young Duck is asking about Pal World. Are you up on that shit?
Yeah, so like we're losing hella fucking people from the Ark to Pal World because it's like kind of a mesh between, I would say
it's like Pokemon with guns, right?
It's more like Animal Crossing with Pokemon characters and then a sandbox frame like arc, which is cool. But like, I wish that it was like a licensed Pokemon thing. My only gripe with it is it seems to me like it's
Like they
just
just stole Pokemon.
yeah. Well, it's just like kind of cheesy knockoff shit, and they look the same with like kind of not cool names. But the homie Abdul at the game shop we were just at, he was telling me that the developer is like hella for the people. So more than anything, he just kind of gave the people what they wanted. So I
Yeah.
respect that. You know,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
haven't
yeah.
played it. I've been on the arc, bro. I'm raising dinosaurs and shit. I'm starting wars.
Yeah, I mean, I heard that Power World shit sold like 1 billion fucking copies in the first week or some shit.
It's
like
not
that,
even
so-
out yet, but it had that many players, so like it's gonna equate to wild sales. But like that fool Abdul saying is this, it's cool that a company is for the people, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah, yeah,
they're
yeah.
making a game that people want rather than like in-game purchases and skins.
Yeah,
and,
yeah,
all
yeah,
this
yeah,
shit,
yeah.
which
That's
is-
cool. I could respect the fuck out of that.
Back in the day, like you kind of had to earn skins. So like if you go to your friend's house and he has the same game, same console, different skin, you're like, damn, what'd you do?
What'd you do to get that?
And
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
Oh fuck, you have to beat every character.
Yeah.
You have to beat the game with every character. You have to do, you know, like
Yeah.
you had to earn it. But now it's like, oh, you got $6, like you could be the illest fool on the server.
Yep,
you know?
yep, exactly. Like, or just whoever's got the most money has the most shit, basically. And that, I feel like Call of Duty made that the thing, basically.
Damn, that full city just finished Hunter x Hunter. What about the
Ooh.
homie Kite? Tell me how you feel about that.
Yeah, man. I've the only thing about finishing Hunter x Hunter that's disappointing is you know that there's way more and it's just not available unless you want to read the manga. That's devastating to me because why just make the new season, make the whatever. It's like the Succession arc is the next one that comes after the one that's on now, and like make that a fucking season. Make that it's obviously a successful anime. Why don't they keep doing it? Why are we making all these other fucking?
What if they do it and they fuck it up though? You know?
How are they gonna fuck it up? They already have the format for it. They already did it
A lot of people have
twice.
fucked up a lot of good things.
Oh, Berserk! You're kidding me? Yeah,
So
but
we should just kind of.
to be fair, like there was never. I guess 98 Berserk was a good format, but like they couldn't redo that because that's not how animation is done before, or done now. But to like Hunter x Hunter, the second version of it is not that old to where they can't just copy that shit wholesale. And instead, it's like 1 million of the same fucking like nerd transported to a fairyland where all of a sudden he's got magical powers ass isekai bullshit that I'm not into. I'm just not into that at all in any way, shape, or form. I like high fucking fantasy, bro. That's what I want. High fucking fantasy. I want world building. I don't want like this is a video game and I'm in a video game now. That shit does not fucking do it for me.
You know what's hard as fuck, bro? Dorohedoro.
Oh yeah, Dorohedoro's sick.
That
The one
shit
where
is
it's the
hard.
guys with got to get pieces of his body back. That one.
Nah, he lost his face. And
Okay.
it's like a world of witches. but
Yes.
it's hella sick because all the witches,
Wears a mask and shit.
They could. He has like a lizard face.
Oh no, different. Okay, I totally know what the fuck you're talking about. And he's trying to find out. He keeps biting people on the head.
Yeah,
Yeah.
to find his face.
Yes.
But like I like how all the witches they could throw a door to get into that world.
Yep,
And
yep.
all the doors are different. Like one has a door and it's a cassette tape. It's so sick.
And basically, like everyone who's not a fucking wizard or witch is just at the mercy of
it's like an
dickhead.
experiment. Yeah, they got put into a world.
I love that episode where they're like, "Oh, it's zombie night, dude. We got to fucking kill zombies tonight."
Or they make hella ramen.
Yes, yeah. Oh, yeah.
There's
and
some
it's-
good shit. Like I like that. Like
yeah.
it's kind of like how would you say?
Okay, so he's what he was talking
I
about.
don't know what the fuck it is.
Dororo is another one where it's like this fucking like assassin dude, and he has to kill like these different fucking demons to get pieces of his body back or whatever, which is
Nah, I
pretty
never
tight
seen
too.
one.
That one's
That
also
sounds
sick.
cool, though.
But I don't know, man. Like,
My nigga on Dorohedoro, he'd just be only eating gyoza. He's like, "Oh, can you make me some gyoza?" And he's like partners with a lady, and he doesn't know she's a witch.
Yes.
because he's hella dumb.
yeah, it's a homegirl.
Chainsaw Man, I watched all of that. That was cool.
Yeah, I thought Chainsaw Man was cool. I feel like they shouldn't overhype animes like that. It doesn't serve the anime for everybody in the world to be on it. Bye. Okay, cool. Drive
It
safe.
was an ill one though, bro. Like I really enjoyed it. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Like the relationship he had with his demon was super cool. Like,
Yeah.
anything that goes back or like plays back, kind of like Naruto. Like people love Naruto and they champion that shit because it's like you've seen someone grow up, right? So it's very rare in anime where you could be like, damn, I remember when that fool was a kid, this happened to him, and it's like it has weight, you know, because
Yeah.
you see him when he's a fucking little ass kid, then kind of like a teenager, and then into like a grown ass man, you know,
Oh, yeah.
in Baruto. So it's like, man, or even like, you know, like you're saying, character building or the world. It's like, man, shit was so much different when this fool was a kid. Like that kind of shit's dope to me. I'm hella into like lore, any kind of lore where they play on like
I don't know why I can't think of the
existing
name
things.
of it right now off the top of my head, but I have like the whole series over there. It's a fucking like Lord of the Rings style anime that came out in like the 80s. It's so fucking sick, dude. They got the fucking dwarf, they got the fucking wizard, and it's super like elaborate, and it just reminds me a bunch of like Lord of the Rings. It's like a Lord of the Rings anime, and I feel like that is my cup of tea. Like that, I mean, that's
You're
why I
just
like
a medieval guy.
fucking bro, because
Medieval
fools are
times.
fucking badass in medieval times.
I think it's hella funny on Berserk, like the names of the squads. Like we're the Purple Rhino, fucking elite.
Oh, dude, I love that
You know,
shit.
it's like
I
a
fucking
hella
love
elaborate
it.
ass gang name.
I love that shit. Yeah, the Purple Rhino Knights and all the different
You
like.
know what's fire is it's like not a serious anime, but it's just it's hella. I thought it was good. Is the Devil's a part timer. That shit's so funny.
I don't
bro.
think I ever watched that one.
Bro, this nigga the devil, bro. They send him to fucking Earth, and he doesn't have no powers, dog. And he's just like he finds out like money rules the world. So he's like, fuck, I gotta get a job. So this fool starts working at like the equivalent to McDonald's, and he's just hella working his way up, sick as fuck, because he's trying to get money so he can get back to hell, bro.
Yes.
And like angels are falling and shit, and like he recognizes who they are, and they're like, oh, you're fucking here. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah,
just
yeah.
like-
I'm like, oh damn,
He's hella
what's up,
trying to figure
fool?
out how to like sell more cheeseburgers. It's a funny ass anime, bro.
I like
Or there's this one called someone. I think it's like Kentaro Lives Alone or some shit, and it's about this little kid who fucking lives in an apartment by himself, and like this fool that's like a low level, like yakuza member lives underneath him. This fool that draws anime lives to the right, and this woman that's like a hostess at a club lives to the left, and they all trip because they're like, no one ever comes in here. It's only this kid. And then when they talk to him, he talks like a feudal shogun and shit. Like he's like a grown man, you know. He's like, oh, I'm just gonna go down to the laundromat and wash my clothes, or I'm gonna go to the bathhouse. And the dude's like, you can't go by yourself. He's a little kid. But then you figure out like why he lives like that. It's pretty fucking dope, dude. I like shit like that too.
Damn, I think this is what it is. I'm still trying to figure out what the name of that anime is without having to run over to the other side. And this is it right here. Oh, what is it fucking called? On another note, someone was talking about I love Claymore, by the way. That's a fucking awesome one.
With the chicks.
Yes, I think that's so sick. Someone was talking about Jujutsu Kaisen, which do you watch that?
Fire.
I mean, it's so sick. Like the fighting is so sick. It's probably like the dopest like fight sequence anime I've seen, maybe ever. But it just doesn't do it for me in the same way that like the crazy world building animes do for me. Because like ultimately they just live in the regular world and there's like demon shit going on in the regular world. Like I like the whole concept of it just being like an entirely different fucking world, you know what I mean? And then fools have to adjust to whatever.
How do you feel about Full Metal Alchemist, dude?
Oh, I loved Full Metal Alchemist. I think that was one of the first animes that I ever like watched all the way through, and I remember being like, that one fucked with me in a way that other animes haven't, where I was like legitimately sad about shit that happened in that anime, like
when the dude turned his daughter.
oh
to a
my
chimera.
god, dude. What the fuck? That might be the most like devastating moment in anime when you figure out that that Chimera is his daughter and shit, and you're like, "Oh, you piece of shit. You're the biggest piece of shit ever." Like, oh,
Damn, that's how it was when Naruto was fighting Pain.
Yeah.
And no one would come and help this fool, and only Hinata did. I was like, damn, that shit made me so sad, bro, because you're like, I remember when they're kids, right?
Yeah.
You know, and there's like this unspoken weird thing, but like now they're fucking grown ass adults. This fool's fucking in sage mode, ill as fuck, and he's still getting like worked, you know, or whatever.
yeah.
It's like, damn, you see her get her shit stomped out. Bam! And like, oh no, dude. She's the only one that could help, bro. This is some cold shit.
God damn it. Hold on. Talk to him while I go get this anime. This is going to fucking bother the shit out of me the whole time unless I fucking grab it. Churro, damn it, you should grab anime for me. Record of Lodos War. I didn't even have to get over here. I knew it was Record of Lodos War like halfway fucking over there. As I'm walking over, I realize it's fucking Record of Lodoss War. This is my favorite anime ever. In case you're wondering what my favorite anime is, it's this one right here. Record of Lodoss War.
My favorite anime is Black Butler.
Homie, look at this. Record of Lodoss War. It's fucking Lord of the Rings fucking anime. You got fucking little elf chick. You got fucking Gimli fucking dude. You got a fucking wizard. There's some like super like ancient bad guy shit going on. And then this is the sequel. This was the TV series of Record of Lodoss War. Not fucking as good at all. Definitely not as good as the original movie. But oh, this shit. So oof. Talk about world building, son. They were getting it the fuck in when they made Record of Lodoss War.
Yeah, I feel that, man.
But
it's
I
always
digress.
cool to attach to a fucking, a little show.
That's
how I am right now in the arc, bro. Like that shit is a real world for me right now. It's crazy.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I'm still on like the retro video game shit. I still just like the idea of playing video games and then just like moving on to the next video game. The idea of being stuck in one video game for a long time is not appealing to me at this moment in time.
My method is like every time I pay for a fucking month of live, I'm on Xbox, then I'll pick a game from like the game store that I'll beat all the way through. But like right now, I'll just fucking play Ark for hours, and then if I get bored, I'll just go to the game. Like I'm playing Arkham Knights right now. That shit is crazy.
Yeah,
so sick.
There's a bunch of games like that, like the Spider-Man games, where I'm like, fuck, man. It's like I guess maybe later in life I'll have the time to play these games, and then I'll be. It's almost like, check it out. I didn't watch The Sopranos when it was like live and happening on TV, and I had to wait like 10 years after because like it was so in the cultural zeitgeist that like I knew shit that happened in that show without ever even watching that show.
Oh, yeah.
So I had to wait until the world forgot about The Sopranos, or at least stopped talking about it, and then I could start watching it.
I think I was just too young. Like I wasn't aware of The Sopranos like when I was a kid, when it was like playing. But when I lived in Sacramento, I think I got fucking COVID, bro, and I started watching Sopranos, and I just never looked back. I've probably rewatched it like 2-3 times. I love that shit, bro. And that goes to like character building and shit too.
Yeah,
you hella feel for people, their past and shit. You're like, fuck, I can't believe this happened.
And by the time you're like 5 or 6 seasons into it, you're like really invested in the motherfuckers' stories and shit. Like that.
Yeah, or you're like, this fool AJ's a bitch. Bro.
She's just a bitch.
It's crazy.
Yeah, the kids were the worst for sure. Like,
bro, AJ's a bitch, bro.
Which is like, I love that about that show too, because it's like that's how it is in the real world. Like, if you're a badass, almost guaranteed your kid's gonna be a bitch. Like, because the bar is too high. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for him. But he could have just been cool, bro. Like, just be cool. Or man up and fucking get in the family business,
It's just
against it. You think that Tony's dad wanted him in the business? Probably didn't.
Yeah.
But fuck, that's how it goes, bro. You got to get in where you fit in. This nigga's dating Latinas.
I mean, look at like
tried to smoke himself in the pool.
Yep.
He's crying.
Yep. That's real life, though.
Bro.
You fucking the strongest man is gonna raise a bitch, just by nature, because it's like I don't want you to be like me, and then you end up just being the polar opposite of Pops.
Look at old Liver King.
Yeah, what does he have a kid?
He's raising some manly boys.
He's raising some manly boys.
I don't know. It's different now.
Are they gonna take steroids with him?
What's hella wild, I think, is like how people are like, they're just like viral or like social media families, and I think in that they hella push their children to do and be a certain way. Have you ever seen that kid that's like, he's always singing on like social media. He wears glasses and he has some condition to where like, I don't know what the condition is, but he can't really be outside fucking around, playing and shit. So he's just super on social media. And I stumbled on his page like 2 days ago, and I was just like, man, the parents are weird, because a kid's going to be a kid, A kid is going to do anything you let a kid do or expose him to. But it's just like the parents that are masterminding like behind the scenes shit that isn't a general interest of their kid, and it's genuinely what they want to do, and they're just documenting it. It's kind of a boof, bro. It's like, damn, you're hella reaching, and you're going to use your kid to like, propel your ego and like your wants and needs on social media. It's
Like that,
shit's whack.
like
bro.
that fucking real estate lady who was like, had her little Asian daughter fucking flashing cash in fucking houses and shit, being like, I got all this motherfucking money.
Oh, Lil Tay.
Lil Tay.
Yeah, I think it was like her older brother, which is like more reasonable,
Yeah, I
you know.
guess,
But
yeah.
also, like, I'm sure the parents are aware, and at some point they have to be like, "Hey, you can't be doing this shit. Like, this
Yeah.
ain't a good look."
I think
Yeah.
I think the mom like lost her real estate license because she was using like other people's houses and other people's money to flex on the internet and shit.
Well, I think that like that's what you get, bro. It's kind of like truancy, right? Like, if a kid doesn't want to go to school and then they threaten you, like, "Oh, your parents are gonna have to deal with the consequences of this." It's like, well, they should, you know, because ultimately they're who in charge, and that they're who you have to, you know, live with and shit. So they should have some rule of like, hey, your ass is going to school,
Yeah.
you know, or whatever. Like social media is kind of the same way. It's like that shit has to fall on someone. If
Yeah.
your kid's acting a fool on social media, for one, like kids shouldn't even have access to social media, or they should have their own kind of platform for it, or like dumbed down version.
Yeah.
But like it's wild if your kid has access to Instagram or like TikTok even or anything.
I think that it's
wild.
the-
Kanye West isn't wrong in that sense. Of
The
like,
people
dude,
that have those the people that like run those social media companies, like their children are not allowed to be on those social
guaranteed.
media platforms.
But if you're like a 10-year-old and you have access to TikTok and fucking Instagram, then you have more access than we ever had. Like
Yep.
even with early internet. Like
Oh
there's
yeah,
so
of
much
reaching
crazy-
people. Yeah.
reaching people, discovering things,
Oh, yeah.
like things that you don't understand, being exposed to that. Like that shit's crazy, bro. Open up Instagram. It don't matter how wholesome you are. You could find yourself in a rabbit hole. And like for a kid, it's like that's too much power and responsibility, bro. It's wild.
So like Robert R is talking about us ciphering, us playing bar pong, all that shit, and I
In the
and I-
right setting.
in the right setting, dude. That is you're
That's
totally
hella
right.
funny.
It because a thug changes, and that's all I'm saying. Because like I feel like in the right setting with the right folks, like we could definitely get like some bar pong cracking and shit. But like we can't force that shit. That's the
if
one thing
if
you
Cody
can't.
pulls up, bro, we're doing bar pong.
100%. But we're literally one person short of it.
I've
at
been on
this
my
point.
art shit as of late, but you know, I'll always think of little things that be rhyming.
Yeah, me too, man.
More
I mean,
access to porn. That fool said. Access to anything, dude. It doesn't even matter. Like, imagine like having access to any of these weird niche communities that are around right now, like, and not being able to process that or understand it, and then just think that that's normal. It's like, bro, that's kind of not normal.
or
man.
having like proper judgment to know like what things to get involved in and what things not to get involved
That's
in.
what I'm saying. We have the internet, bro, and like even then it's like very low level shit. But right now it's operating at a very high tier of anything you want. That's why these kids are so eclectic these days. Like older, well, like you know, teenagers that are still children in essence, but they're older. You know, they're almost adults. The way they dress, what they listen to, what they watch is very eclectic because they're not just waiting for new drops like how we were. They have access to reach back and be like, oh, fuck, I'm hella into 90s slashers. And now you could go on Netflix and watch every 90s slasher.
It's so weird, dude. It's so weird when kids
That's
are
a lot of power too, bro.
the
You could
kids
be
are
like,
into
"Man,
things that are like a decade predate them and shit. You're like, how
Yeah.
are you even? How is this even in your zeitgeist? Like, how do you
well,
even
'cause they
understand?
have access, bro. They have phones.
Yeah.
So everything is in their like realm.
No
They-
shit,
They
so
could
you-
say, hey, I want a Rockaware denim jacket. And
Yeah.
it's easy. They could just go on Google, type in Rockaware denim jacket, size medium. Boom, they're going to get that shit.
And you'd be like,
It's
oh,
wild.
you don't know shit about this because you're fucking 16 years old or whatever. But like realistically, they could go down a rabbit hole and be more knowledgeable about that thing than you ever were because there's more access
They're
to
gonna hit
information.
Google, Reddit, YouTube, and they're gonna be fucking experts in 3 days.
And all you did was like live the life and listen to the stuff as
Yeah,
it
you
came
had to
out.
wait for it to come out.
Yep,
Like,
yep,
oh, man,
yep, yep.
I'm waiting for the next one. They have instant act. It's like you're saying with the Sopranos. People are waiting and being hella mean to their coworkers and their loved ones. Like, don't talk to me.
Don't
like,
tell me, don't spoil shit.
I'm waiting for fucking this episode to come out or some shit.
And
like
these
it-
fools blow through it in a weekend.
Yeah, bro. That's how I feel about what's it called? Game of Thrones, bro. I didn't watch Game of Thrones when it was currently going on. That's kind of like my Sopranos of my age, right? Where I'm an adult and I could keep up and watch it. I didn't watch that shit. Once it was done, I fucking binged that shit all month, and then I'd dove deep into like the lore because now it's available and
Yep.
people have input. So it's like I am a little bit more, you know, well versed in this than others that watched it, you know, every episode because I could go back, keep watching all this shit. You know, it's weird. New things come out, new theories. The staff and like directors, they speak on it because it's been a long time and people want these answers.
Yeah.
And then some people watching it's over like, yeah, I watched that. But it's like, oh,
I
man,
mean,
like,
that's
I dove into it.
Most people are like, and it'd be like, they had a Wu-Tang weekend and got more information about the shit than you did in your entire life because you were listening to albums when they came out, but you didn't watch like the TV show and the documentary about the album being made and all this stuff that is available on Google, YouTube now, or whatever with a single search. You know what I'm saying? What?
It says, oh, never mind. It says excellent.
Oh no, yeah, it's weird because they would tell us if we sucked. At some point, they would be like, "Yo, it sucks." I feel like this is just like managing our expectations. But yeah, we're pretty good. We're pretty good on our.
I guess it is like
ability.
it is kind of like that duck dick.
Oh well,
like,
fools don't want to rap because they're
it's
out
like
of
I
it.
feel like they're too cool to freestyle. I don't think it's that. I think it's like maybe a lot of nerves, right? Because it's like if you have something to do, or like if you're there performing, but even if you're there like to support your friends and shit, like I think it'll be very weird for people to be like, "Hey, what's up? Like you guys aren't
Go
gonna
ahead,
freestyle,
spit some
Like,
bars.
that's wild.
Spit some
Like,
bars. No,
if
you know what it
walk
is.
up on the click and fools are freestyling, that's tight. But like even for me, like I haven't done music in hella long. I got an art show I'm gonna go to today. It's in Oakland.
Hell yeah.
It starts at 5. It's for the Jacka. They're shooting a documentary about him.
Sick.
So that's gonna be tight. But I
No,
just been
I
on the
think,
art shit. But
the thing-
rapping wise, like I don't know.
I think the
I'll
thing is
fucking-
why it's hard for fools to like freestyle at events or whatever, or why it's like less common is because now we've created an atmosphere where they can just do an interview or they could just be like content isn't just rapping for rappers, right? Like back in the day, like when you showed up at an event, you would rap as much as possible. Like we'd show up at a battle and we'd fucking battle and then you'd catch footage of us ciphering out front or whatever because we're here now. You know what I'm saying? With all the homies, we're trying to get as much footage as possible while we're here. But these fools are like the world is so much like orientated around like creating content that fools are just like, yeah, I'll just do an interview or whatever, or I'll schedule some shit to do some shit later. And it's like, if I'm going to rap, like that's going to be very special thing that happens at a very specific place versus like us being like, we got to get it in right right now.
If you're
you know
known
what I mean?
for that though, you should always kind of be prepared for that. Like
Yeah.
for me, like I'm not known for like freestyle rapping, but if I was, for sure, if you hit me like, hey bro, you want to start a little cipher, even if you're like weak or not, like you should be prepared for that, you know. But
Yeah.
if it's like, I don't know, someone like uber famous or someone who's not known for that, like you're not gonna walk up to whoever's the youngest like popping kid and be like, hey, freestyle, or like Travis Scott. You're not gonna be like, hey, freestyle, Travis. Like you're a rapper. It's
Come
like,
on, full rap.
he's like more of an artist, I feel like, or some people, you know,
Man.
it's different. There's different genres and everything. Of like,
Arguably the biggest fall off as an artist I've ever seen in my life is Travis Scott, because I feel like Birds in the Trap is one of the greatest hip hop albums ever made. Like no bullshit. Like I feel like I say that and people will be like, "What? That's crazy." But like if you listen to Birds in the Trap fucking front to back, that album encapsulates a period of time. Every single song is good. The production value is fucking insane. And then like now, I feel like everything he's done since then to a degree has just been him trying to like recapture that level of.
He has to, because he's doing crazy shit. That fool has a fucking McDonald's meal.
No,
That
but
fool
it's not.
has
I'm just saying the
number
music
one
he's
selling
making
Jordan.
is not good. Like the music he's making, if you listen to it now, it's the same sounding shit as like Birds in the Trap or the Rodeo or whatever. Like none of it ever got that good again. And I guess that's the same for a lot of artists. Like you make something that's that good, you're never gonna reach that plateau again. But
Who's to say, you know, maybe he'll find time to like put passion into a project, but once you're that busy and you're in the eye of like people dealing with like a public relationship, dealing with keeping your PR straight so you can have a McDonald's deal, keeping your PR straight so you can, you know,
It's a different game. They're
still
trying to
represent
create
Nike,
content now. Like making a good album is like secondary.
None of that's conducive to like doing drugs and getting in the zone and making like real good music.
And that's that's the horse that got them there. But at the same time, it's like the least important thing that fool could do now. Because like you said, it's more about the fucking McDonald's drop and the fucking Nikes than it is about making an album.
Well, imagine competing with these younger, more passionate people.
They're in their Birds in the Trap days.
Yeah,
they're fucking high in the studio.
You're focusing on these huge deals.
Yeah.
And then you never want to play yourself and come out and be like, damn, that shit was weak, because you're standing on the back of like, I made this.
Yeah.
So you don't want to go in there fucking 1 foot in, 1 foot out. I respect it. He's still touring. He's still doing his thing. He has a couple fucking bangers. I like that Out West shit.
I just haven't heard a single song that I've been like, oh, this is like a new kind of cool thing. And like, I remember like discovering Birds in the Trap and listening to that whole album, like off a little bit of Sid, and feeling like, man, this is borderline genius,
Well,
if
that
not
goes to
full
it too,
blown
dude,
genius.
Because if that's where your opinions formed, and I'll be honest, like that's kind of the same point where my opinions formed, because it dropped at the same time, and I was like kicking it with you tough at that point. But like, it's like people in the 70s and the 60s, like, well, that's when music was really music, dude. But it's like, no, that's when you were off hella acid and everything was just so amazing.
Maybe the Grateful Dead ain't that tight. Maybe you were
Exactly.
just really
It's just like,
fucking hot.
Yeah, dude. So it's like that. It's like, bro, nothing's fucking with that. It's like, nothing's fucking with that because you were feeling on God mode when that was like being played. That's why. You go back to God mode, you're going to be like, Young Boy is the fucking man.
Yes.
This fool is a genius, you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
it's just because you're feeling so good and you're on a different vibration, you know?
What about that fucking ramen place we just ate? That place was pretty fucking dope, dude. I felt like it was really good. I didn't like the amount of rules that we got hit with right off the bat.
I think the pork belly could have been better, but the broth and the noodles were fucking on
And that's what
screen.
we're in the game for, essentially. It might have been some of the best ramen that I've had out here. I still think that the
I'll tell you where the best ramen of your life is right now. It's in Santana Row. It's the homie from Iron Chef that wears the glasses, the Japanese fool.
okay.
He has a restaurant there. That shit is, even the karage chicken is just like nothing's touching it, bro.
Okay, I need to check that out,
ridiculous. It's all
because
the way at the end of
realistically,
Santana Row.
homie,
Fire.
when we went to Japan and we ate ramen every fucking day, like I loved that shit. And I came home and I had the best ramen here, and that shit was full blown trash compared to what I was eating in Japan. Like I got some shit from a robot in Japan that was better than anything I've ever had in America. And I think that I had to get like at least a year removed from our trip to Japan before I could start enjoying the ramen out here more. And it's simply because they're not getting the same ingredients.
Yeah, it's like trying to get guacamole in a place that don't have avocados.
That's
gonna be
fucking good point.
garbage.
Having sushi in Kansas and shit. And it's like, oh yeah, well that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, it doesn't equate out. Some good fried fish or like some little fried catfish or something is probably on Scream.
That's why these fucking Mexican restaurants on this block are the shit, bro. Most of these places, and people, if I say this, people would be like, oh, that's fucked up. I don't like that. But like a lot of these places, if you don't speak Spanish, they won't serve you, or they don't want to serve you. Like the place Lorena's, if you call and try to order in English, they'll just hang up the phone on you.
Yeah, they don't got time for that shit because they're getting their lucci like, through another easier means.
And they if you're
imagine the frustration of like a language barrier.
Oh yeah,
Constant. It's like fuck.
But
I'd
it's
rather not deal with this when the homie's gonna walk in and spend the fat.
I think you say that to people like that live in America, and they're like, no, fuck that. You live in America. You need to serve me the burrito the way I want the burrito. But it's like, really, if it's gonna be good, it's gonna be in a place where you better know how to say fucking asada, or else you're not gonna get the shit you want. You know what I mean? Like, you better know how to say crema. You better know what the fuck you're ordering. Otherwise,
That's how it goes, bro. Even if you want to, you're taking the risk, not them. They're a Mexican authentic restaurant.
Yes.
I want them to speak Spanish. So
Yes.
if I go in there, I'm dipping into your world. It's
Yeah.
just like same with like Indian cuisine. Like you better know what you want on it and you don't want on it, and you better ask questions and educate yourself. You know, like, or else go to McDonald's where fucking everything on the menu and you know exactly what pickles are and onions are, and live your life like that. But if you want to think outside the box a little bit, experience some flavors.
Yeah.
Homie, you better learn how to roll a couple R's, say a little tandoori.
Yeah, 100%. Like, you better know you're playing by their motherfucking rules
Yeah,
and
you
not
got
the other
to.
way
We're in
around.
California, G. You
Yeah.
know, this used to be fucking Mexico, fool.
Real shit, dude.
That's
That's the
like
other
it.
thing too. You want to go way back, fool? You want it to be like it used to be? Then then they would shoot you out here for not
Just
speaking
be
the
thankful that we have access to these delicious fucking, you know, fare that they're providing us, because a lot of places, like you said, you go to Kansas, bro. Imagine how hard it is to get like a good bowl of fucking ill ramen there.
Yep.
Or like a good fucking anything, really.
Heartbreaking.
California, we
I
have
feel so bad.
cows. We have so much. It's a melting pot of so much culture that we have authentic food here, and that's a blessing, right?
I guess you get what, like, there's something in every place. Like
Go to fucking Panda Express or go to fucking Chipotle if you want to be in charge, you know?
like
But
get
if
a
not-
steak in Calgary and it's gonna be better than like almost anywhere else. But like you can't get the sushi and the steak at the same fucking place. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. It's just a weird thing. That's how
or
I feel.
KC has all the barbecue shit.
I'm like this, bro. Look at me, you know. I didn't get this size turning it down. But like, I'm not gonna complain if my food's right or wrong. I just won't eat it. But I'm never gonna send it back. I'm never gonna be like, hey, I didn't ask for this. Like,
Yeah.
I'll pick it out. Or
Yeah.
I'm not allergic to anything, so I'm not tripping. But if you have like food allergies or shit like that, I could understand being more cautious or more upset.
Yeah, but if you just have standards and then you can't, like, shit has to fit in your box wherever you go, like, that shit annoys me, bro. I'd be like, if I'm with somebody and they send food back, it feels like somebody punched me in the stomach. You know what I mean?
That's where a nice strong woman comes in, because then you could just be like, hey man,
It's fucking hurt.
but really you're the one like, hey, tell him to take this shit
Babe,
back.
can you tell them I don't want this?
Man, I had one that would go to fucking town for the boy, and she had a little speech impediment, so she'd be like, excuse me, he did not order this. Hella funny, bro. Shouts out to her. You know who you are. Lovely lady. But she was hella mean. She was like entitled woman, you know?
That's
And
good
she was,
shit.
She was like 33, and I was like 24.
You get what you want more if you're entitled.
Yes.
You don't get what you want as much.
Around. She's a homeowner. She pays taxes. She wants what she wants. Me, I'm a turd, so it's just like, hey, whatever.
Yeah,
Everything's
dude.
good for me. You
Yeah,
know?
dude.
I'll take these fucking whatever right out. I'm not.
I never really thought about it, but it is because I'm a turd that I'm like, no, I'll just eat the cheese on the burger then, or I'll just scrape it off. Like, I fucked up.
Yeah,
Somehow
you're just
it's
okay with things.
This is
Oh,
my
all right.
fault. And at the end of the day, like, I'm willing to take the blame for this. You know what I mean? Like, someone has got to fuck up so bad at a restaurant for me to make a comment about it. Like, I mean, you got to do, like, it's just got to be so fucking wrong or
This is
undercooked
the
to a
thing, bro,
dangerous
like-
degree. You know what I mean?
You have to be willing to just leave, because at the end of the day, like, I'm not gonna sit there and like argue with you or try and prove a point, or,
Yeah.
or joust with you in any way. I'll just fucking leave, bro. If you don't want to come serve me or take my order, I'll get up and leave. I'm not tripping, bro. We live in America. There's options.
Mandrew is saying that he just cooks the shit himself, and I've seen him on like Facebook or whatever making ramen and making like these Japanese dishes where like he can't get it at any restaurant, so he just like is looking up the YouTube tutorial, buying the materials, and then making the shit himself.
And then even that's a blessing, because we have technology and social media where you can get the dope recipe and just be like, fuck, I didn't know it was this easy, you know?
Yeah.
But same thing, like, bro, you can't be going into like a different culture's
And being like,
supermarket.
do it like I want you to do it.
Well, just they're like, say you go to a supermarket to get like produce or something that they offer that like a standard safe way don't have. You can't be in there like, oh my god, it fucking stinks in here. Like, you know, it's like, dude, it's
In
like,
Ranch 99,
like
I'm upset about fish.
the spices smell so spicy in here, I could hardly breathe. This is like, hey, bro, be cool, G. Like, you're a visitor here, you know? You just got to approach things with respect, because if that's what your interest is, then, like, you have to respect the culture, respect that.
It's like
different,
it's
right?
like two different attitudes and nothing in between, where you like walk into a place that's completely different from what you're used to, and then you either think it's hella cool because it's completely different from what you're used to, or you're hella bummed because it's completely different from what you're used to. You
Yeah,
know what I'm
it's
saying?
wild.
Like, it's one of the two attitudes you have. I've never met someone who's like, yeah, it's all right. You know what I mean? Like, you're either fucking, whoa, this is the dopest shit. What is this? I've never seen these before. Or you're like, where are the fucking paper towels? How can I not find paper towels?
They didn't
in this
fucking
place?
have paper towels in this place. This is a supermarket. It's just like, I don't know, bro. I get it. It's just entitlement, right? That's why drivers drive the way they drive.
Yeah.
People act the way they act, because they feel that what they have going on is more important than what you do. But the cold truth is like we all live in the same experience. We all have stressors in life. We all have things that we're eager to get to, we're happy about, opportunities we're trying to seize, opportunities that fell through.
Yeah.
We're all on the same plane, but no one thinks like that. Everyone's like, my worries are way worse than his. I got to cut this fool off so I could be 4 minutes early to the house to
Yeah.
wash my little stinky nuts to deal with this Tinder date. You know, it's
Yeah,
like, come
yeah,
on,
yeah,
dude.
yeah.
Like, you're risking lives out here because you want to be fucking, you know, on time for whatever you got going on.
There's a really great saying. My mother-in-law, I think I heard say it, which was a problem or an emergency on your part isn't an emergency on mine. Essentially, like I don't know if that's the way to say it, but it's like basically it's like just because you're in a hurry doesn't mean doesn't mean like I got to be in a hurry for something.
Yeah, you can't be like that, man.
It's like your
It's
situation.
so easy to be like that, though.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. Like
I got to leave right now, but it's like, do you really? You know, or like, oh, I'll be there in 15 minutes. Like, are you honestly going to be there in 15 minutes?
I find myself doing that shit all the time. I think that I'm like, I feel like being on time is super important, and I can't tell you how many times I've showed up to things on time and just been way too early.
Yeah, I think just being present is the most important. Just be there for what you're there for, and you can't really sweat, 5 or 10 because the world is such an unpredictable place.
I mean, there are moments, right, where you got to be on time for shit to make an impression, or because like motherfuckers is on a clock and you know it and it's considerate. But like 9 out of 10 times.
But what about their life? What if they get a flat? What if they fucking are in a traffic jam? Like, some things we're not in control of. So it's like you just have to be in control of being all right with what you got going on,
Homie, this fucking Kirk's White's fucking big time wrestling battle royale event was so fucking sick. We had so much fun. Me and Ryne rolled up. The homie fucking Buttery Heat was in the building. One of fucking counterproductive notification gang. I seen his ass with the Dogs Are Dope shirt, and I'm like, come, homie, sit back here. You're working at the booth now. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was just tight. The wrestlers were fucking risking the biscuit, doing backflips off the top ropes onto the fucking outside of the ring, landing on top of each other.
Me. I'm afraid to walk in the range,
But if you could, you got the size for it. You could be Gorilla Monsoon in that bitch, like fucking just, you know what I mean?
I got
like,
a torn ACL, bro. No surgery. I'm done for. I can't pivot.
You ever seen?
I can't do none of this.
I seen footage of Dusty Rhodes the other day, big ass Dusty Rhodes playing basketball, and he was balling, dude, balling, hitting
Some people
threes.
got it, bro.
Oh, dude, the fat guys that could do backflips and shit. That is the most impressive kind of person to be. To
Bro,
me.
my nigga Plague, bro. This fool's he's a heavy hitter, G. But this motherfucker, he'll ollie over a straight fucking fold up chair, no problem. He'll ollie over a fucking like one of those long traffic cones, no problem, bro. And he's a big ass dude. He's just not afraid. I think that's the biggest thing. It's fear. It's not really physics of like how big you are. It's just if you're not afraid to fucking go for it,
Yeah, because
I'm afraid to go for it, G, because I've hurt myself before. So it's like, man, I can't do that again.
that was. I
can't
feel
twist the
like.
ankle. I got a bad sciatic nerve, player.
I grew up,
you know what I mean?
I grew up
It's ugly.
skateboarding, and I grew up skateboarding with fools that were just had more of that fucking, for lack of a better term, nuts than me. And like, cause like physically, I know I could do this, but there was this thing that would stop you. And I remember like rolling up to big sets of stairs and like just jumping off your board and going, fuck! Because it's like literally you're psyched out in your own head. But if I would ever, like, you don't even have to really ollie that high or that far if you're going fast enough to like get down the steps. You know what I mean? Like, it's just having the nuts to throw your body off the shit. And there were kids that would be like, I remember tripping when like the Baker videos first started coming out and like people started referring to like big tricks as like hammers and shit. You would get these kids that could barely do kickflips and they're hucking them down fucking sets of 10 stairs like right off the bat because they're too dumb to realize that like breaking their whole bodies at a young age might be terrible for them later in life, and they didn't give a fuck. But me, like, I didn't have that in me. I couldn't.
They got the fame though, dude.
Oh yeah.
And that's the crazy thing is like you always have to be able, or like not be able, but be willing to risk it in some sense. It doesn't have to be physical, but like having the willingness to put it on the table. Not a lot of people have that, but we all have that option.
I always say to my wife, or anytime like it came up that I have like no fear of speaking publicly in any way, shape, or form, in any environment. Like I can go on stage and I could talk to anybody. I'm not afraid of any of that shit. Like I'm never stage fright or any of those things that like affect normal people, like don't affect me at all. And the way that I would describe that is I don't have any irrational fears. And what that means is that like I'm not going to die if I go on stage and say something dumb and embarrass myself. It's not going, like, it doesn't hurt me. I'm not going to break a bone. It's not like there's literally zero consequence for embarrassing yourself outside of just being embarrassed, right? But like standing too close to a fucking ledge, I'm scared as fuck of heights, bro. Because if I fall off that, I will die. Like, I'm not scared of spiders that can't bite me, but the ones that can bite me, get that fucking thing away from me. I'm not scared of snakes that don't have venom, but the ones that do have venom, fuck that. I don't want to touch that thing. You know what I mean? Like, no irrational fears. All my fears are based in, is this going to hurt me? Is this going to kill me? And then like my whole family's like, you know, like I did the eulogy or did the whole like service for my grandma's funeral, and everyone's like, oh, you did such a good job. I never could have done that. And in my head, I'm like, why? We're all family here. Like, are you going to think I'm going to think you're a nerd? Like, what are you afraid of? Like, why would you even be afraid of that? That seems so irrational. But most literally, everybody in the room is saying the same thing. So like, I'm the only person who's not afraid to stand up here and talk to you guys. That's fucking crazy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know. It's just individual thing, man. Some people are scared of certain shit. Like I definitely have irrational fears, but you know, I don't let them control me or no
Homie,
shit.
you watch those videos of the dudes, like the Russian dudes climbing buildings, and do your palms just start sweating out of nowhere?
Not really.
Oh,
It's just,
I
like,
do.
Certain situations.
I'm sweating right now thinking about it.
I'm just like, man, like I think it's situations with no control. That's what I'm really like.
Okay.
Fuck, dude. Like even like driving with people, but that only comes back to like being in a car accident with someone who, and you're the passenger, right?
Oh yeah,
Where you have no control. So after that, I'm always just like, bro, I don't fuck with this.
Hanging from anything like is terrifying to me because like I feel like my palms will just get super sweaty and then I'm gonna slip. And if it's like high enough to die, like yeah, I would die from any like hanging thing that had to happen. If you're like, oh, you have to hang from this thing for like however many amount of minutes or whatever,
never involve myself.
I'm going to die 100%.
You know what I always tell people that are like on a fitness journey or they're working out and shit and they're like getting stronger. I always ask them like, do you feel strong? And they're like, yeah. And I was like, I always ask like, do you think you could pull yourself off a ledge, like if it really counted? And they're like, oh yeah, for sure. And I'm like, damn, well, that's a win because a lot of people can't.
No,
do
a lot
shit.
of people can't, and like
They
that's
just don't have the upper body strength to fucking pull themselves off a ledge. Which you know, you never know. We live in California. People go on hikes. People go, you know, in the wilderness. You might have to pull yourself up.
I already know the answer to this question, but like, have you ever had to seriously run from the police before?
Yeah.
Isn't it crazy what you're really physically capable of when it comes down to it?
My whole life, homie, I always had the burners, but I just never really had the good breaks. But then after I tore my ACL, I just never, you'll never see me run full force for anything.
Damn.
Probably not even for my life, bro.
Dude, I mean, like, that's fucking terrifying. That's why you got to just be strapped up at all times.
Well, if that shit tears, bro, it's over with. Like, you're going to get me anyway, so I'm not even going to attempt it, bro.
Yeah.
I'm going to try and fight that off. You know?
But I've definitely, like, had to fucking put the burners on, and I've been, like, amazed at how the difference in, like, if me and you do a foot race for fun, and if it's like, if I get caught right now, I'm going to do some time, or it's going to be bad for me. Like,
it's that adrenaline.
The homie, yeah, dude, it's a different kind of speed. I was literally like, I remember me and the homies running 6-foot fence, one hand on that bitch. I'm over that bitch. There's no fucking way I could do that without the fear of imprisonment. You know what I mean? Or getting fucked up or whatever.
Something
like,
has to be on the line.
Something
got
gotta be
tap into like your full, like, how do they say, like, feral potential?
Yeah,
shit, you know,
yeah.
Humans are really capable of.
Yeah, but I remember me and a bunch of the homies were getting chased, and we're fucking running full speed, and I was way in the lead, and one of the homies fucking zoom past me bolted over the fence, and I was like, when we stopped and we caught our breath and whatever, I was like, God damn, homie, like, how are you that fast? Like, and he's like, I don't even know. I was like,
You can't sleep on humans, bro. Everyone's capable of different shit.
Yeah.
And it's fucking crazy, dude.
Yeah, it's definitely like a whole different ball game though when it's like, oh my god, look at these pictures of Churro. Look at this fool.
That fool.
Oh my god, look at this fool. Look at this. Look at this. Oh my god, I had a photo shoot the other day. Oh, he's getting adopted. Churro, you're getting fucking adopted, dude. You're so good. I'm going to post these pictures and you're getting adopted the fuck up, dude. Oh my God. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be completely distracted, but my man's is oh my, that's it. Look at the side eye.
That's wild. That's like 90s glamour shots.
Homie, this guy, look at this picture, guys. This guy, this dog right here. Can you see this? Oh, it's too bright. Fuck. Damn it. I'm gonna post this on Twitter. Go on my Twitter. This fucking dog is a supermodel, and someone just left him in a parking lot. It's insane to me. It is literally blows. One man's trash is another man's treasure. Oh, so true. So fucking true.
Wild, man.
Well, hey, we got to wrap this shit up because
not with like real things. You can't be just fucking throwing real actual trash is cool, but like things with heartbeats and shit.
No, come on,
like cool little dogs
on.
you gave a name to, and he doesn't leave the homie in a fucking
dude. And someone
maybe it was for his own good though, bro. Maybe the homies were just fucking.
They couldn't take care of him.
Previous owners were just no good pieces of shit, and that was the biggest act of kindness they could have did.
Dude, that literally is the case for every single one of these dogs that gets abandoned. Like Gus was tied to a fence at a vet, and that was the nicest thing they ever did for him. And to be fair, and I mean I am humanizing fucking monsters right here, but they could have just abandoned him on the side of some road somewhere. Instead, they tied him to a fence at a vet, which means they risked like other people seeing that him or them do it.
Oh, someone's seen that shit.
It's definitely like because they knew they were putting him in a place of compassion and they were trying to find him. They were hoping that he would end up in a place like this where he got treated like a king. But at the end of the day, like they were obviously not good people because they did what they did. But there's levels, right? A real piece of shit is just gonna fucking dump you in a field somewhere, and hope nobody finds you, and make sure that nobody sees them do it. But you know, a piece of shit who cares about the dog and maybe knows that the best place for them isn't with them might leave them in a place where people know they're going to be found. You know what I'm saying? I found a dog tied to a fence at the playground over there on 7th and Heading. And that place is surrounded by like really nice apartments. So stands to reason someone was like, people walk their dogs here every day. Someone's going to find this dog and take it home and take care of it. And sure as shit, I did. Found the dog, got it adopted. Fucking dog got its own Instagram page. You know what I mean? So like that dog's living good and probably way better than the person who tied it to the fence could ever treat it.
Yeah, that's how you always got to look at it, man.
So what do you got going? You got a Jacka show tonight.
Yep, Jacka art show. It's in Oakland, 5 to 8.
R.I.P. fucking Jack, man. He was a really cool fucking dude. I know both of us got to like meet him and kick it with him at separate times. And I know like from my own experience, he was one of the most down-to-earth motherfuckers I had ever met in my life, as far as like not acting like a famous person. You know what I mean?
He's like the people's champ, man.
He really was. And I mean, that's kind of like ultimately he died on the block, which is the most people's champ shit you could do. Because like if you're the type of people that separate themselves from where they come from, don't ever become victims of that shit. You know, it's Nipsey Hussle, it's Jacka, it's people who stayed in the hood and tried to make shit better for the people that were around them that end up victims of the same violence that they came up in. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, it's some cold shit, man. But you know, I think it's all lies on impact, right? Like ultimately,
yeah,
he impacted a lot of lives. Nipsey impacted a lot of lives. Anybody, you know, who suffered from like horrific circumstance, like they normally like they left a really good impact, right? So like X, you know, this generation of like younger kids, they look up to that, and it's just, you know, it's a blessing, and it's also unfortunate, but I think it's cool just to be involved with like the
here we are
project they have
now
going.
How many years removed from his passing, and he's still a fixture?
9.
Yeah, it's crazy, almost a decade, and he's still very much in the hearts and minds of people in Oakland and all throughout the Bay Area. So like that, I mean, you can only pray and hope that you have that much of an impact on the world. And most people live full ass lives till they're 80, fucking 90 years old and don't do that much, leave that much of a mark. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's wild times, man. But that goes on to the people of like, even like you saying, family not wanting to speak in front of family. Like some people are just not willing to subject themselves to criticism or like the opinion of others, and that holds a lot of people back, you know.
Oh yeah.
You got to just be willing to put your shit out there, right? Because that's how you make an impact. But you having these great ideas or this super talent that you keep to yourself isn't necessarily a bad thing, but you could probably help somebody, you know.
Yeah.
Or inspire someone. So that's what the gift was given for, to give it away.
And definitely like it is like a superpower or like a lack of fear or whatever that drives people to put themselves out there in that kind of way. Like it's not a regular thing. Otherwise there'd be a bunch of fucking like super.
Everyone would do everything.
Everyone would do everything.
It was easy.
the best way to say it
But
possible.
no one does it shit, you know.
All right, man. Thanks for fucking rocking with me. Thanks for getting some fucking ramen with me.
Oh yeah, man.
We'll see this guy again sooner than later. As soon as fucking Cody gets his ass down here, we got to, the three of us, get some fucking bar pong going. Unfortunately, yeah, Team 7 reunion. Unfortunately, Cody's he's a working man and he lives super far away. Fortunately, he's got the most beautiful baby on earth, and I think that's probably what keeps him away more than anything. I know his lady is back to work now, so the other day he hit me up and he was like, can't come through. I gotta watch the baby. It's my first time watching her by myself, and I'm like, I said, you got this, homie. I said, you got this, homie. You're good. Don't trip.
You're so lucky because now you just get to go to the movies for the foreseeable future.
Yeah,
You're gonna see like when they bring in the 3 screens, because that's what's next. Like, have you seen that?
Oh yeah, no, I did.
In the 3 screens,
Godzilla I seen like that. -1. It was like on the side walls and in the front. That shit was crazy,
dude. So it's just gonna keep evolving.
Yeah,
so that's cool.
And Cody will be there first for all the Pixar drops, basically.
Yeah, he gets to win forever.
That's
Shouts
good.
out to them, the whole family.
All right, y'all. Peace out. Much love. We'll be back later this weekend. Ryne and me are going to hit the comedy club tonight, so we'll probably do a podcast this weekend talking about our experience at the comedy club. We're going to go tell unseasoned jokes to straight alcoholics, because those are the only people that are down to like weather a storm to go to the bar on a Wednesday night. Good shit. All right. Big love, y'all. Peace.
Fair.